Hello, I am Miriam, co-founder and COO of Keto Chow.
I'm Chris, also a co-founder, president, and the technical guy behind Keto Chow. Ooh, the mics are working.
Yay!
Well, Miriam's mic is working, and Rachel's mic is working.
We get to talk into their chest.
Yeah, I found that if I had 2 additional mics working, there was a lot of echo. And we're not doing that again, so you just get echo from me talking. Anyway, brand new to Keto Chow. It's a nutritionally complete meal designed to make doing keto easy. We also have some electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon for every day. Oh, I messed up. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon for
So you're
updates
updated.
on all our Keto Chow happenings. These live streams help us be accountable and stay on track. So thanks for joining us on our keto journey.
With Joe and Rachel.
Yay! Hi, everybody.
And you guys are getting ready to leave to go to the airport.
We are going to try our best.
Hopefully our flight doesn't get canceled. I was going to tell Rachel live that the flight's canceled, but
No.
that would not have gone well.
That would have gone well.
But it could still possibly be canceled. We're leaving at 11 o'clock.
My children
Yes.
have been like 7 days without like parents to be like, we need to clean that. So
There's probably like 4 dozen eggs in the chicken coop.
Tabitha's hair on the
Oh, yeah.
floor is probably this deep. You could probably, it's like a barber shop over there.
There's probably the same garbage that was in the garbage can when we left.
Right.
It's still there.
I'm sure.
It probably smells amazing. Denise likes your hat, Joe.
This hat was a gift from Sam.
Sammy the littlest bear.
Sam
you
loves
pay for it?
fedoras, and so do I. And he came home and he's like, I bought you a hat.
Does that mean I can
And
use up his Amazon money?
Yes, and he has a matching one, which I think is the cutest thing ever. Now they have matching hats.
Yeah, so
it's
we
kind
need
of
to
a
get
mesh,
pictures
too.
of them. Yeah, it's not really good for the cold weather because it's like air will
No,
go
but
right
it-
through it.
It'd be great for the cruise. People would think you were like a gangster.
Yes, it's very dapper. We were just saying before the live that Joe used to have a whole mess of these hats, and then they just vanished
Yep.
when we moved from one house years ago to the house that we're in now. And it's like, what happened to them? What happens to hats and socks? Are they like out having a party? I don't know. What happens to the hats and the socks?
They went on a trip together.
I think they go to the Ho Zone.
Yeah, the ozone?
Yeah, at least
Like
that was
the ozone?
No, the far side, Gary Larson called it the Ho Zone layer.
I
The
don't-
ozone layer.
It's where one
don't
sock
remember
from
that.
every load of laundry goes.
Yes.
Anyway. So yeah, welcome everybody. We got Joe and Rachel here because we did the meetup.
Yep.
It was
Absolutely
so much
a
fun.
success.
fantastic.
It was really
great.
fun.
If you haven't watched that, go watch it.
Yep.
Thank you so much for everybody that came out and like shared their weekend with us. I see Just Jen Delaney is here. Sarah G is here. They flew in for this event and it was just so nice to get to hang out and chat and just lots of fun.
Yep. We got a really good message from you guys. I especially, my favorite part was the fake keto stuff. I think I'm a clone now.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
It's
So
yeah.
elaborate on the point of that for anyone who hasn't
Oh,
wasn't here.
it's stuff that isn't real.
Yeah.
Things like
Net carbs.
Was that where the you had everybody repeat with you that all heavy cream
Yes.
has?
Yes,
carbs.
because
Heavy cream has
everybody
carbs.
thinks that heavy cream has zero
Zero
carbs,
carbs.
because that's what the label says, but it is absolutely not true.
Legally, to be able to be sold in the United States, there are specific requirements for heavy cream, light cream, table cream, and it's 0.48 grams if I remember correctly.
Heavy whipping cream is
0.4,
0.413
yeah.
grams
Yeah,
per
that's right.
tablespoon.
Well, and yes, and Dr. Lenzkes was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Like just so much rich information. And what I loved about him, especially when we're talking about like getting fooled, when it's a parody, when it's like a not like a half truth, or you're like, man, that sounds right, but is it actually right? You know, Dr. Lenzkes like came in with hard facts. Like, here is a CGM, here is what, you know, certain things do and actually affect patients from all walks of
himself.
life and himself. Like, so sometimes you just have to do that more detailed data collection on yourself to find out, like, what is the actual truth for me? Because again, you know, some things affect some people and don't affect others.
Yeah.
We were talking about that today. There's a lot of people have this, well, just tell me what to do.
Yeah, which
Yep.
that's what we want too. Like we would love it if someone just tells
Wouldn't
us what
that
to
be
do.
easy?
But the
would.
problem is you still have to experiment on yourself to figure out what works and what doesn't work. So even though a lot of people are telling you what to do and what to try, you still have to do the work yourself to figure it out. Another thing we were talking about today was you don't have my passion, right? You don't have my why. You don't, so if you do what I'm doing, that may not be effective simply because you don't have the same why.
Right.
And that's something I never really thought about before.
Yeah. Well, and we can understand that in other areas of our life. Like
Yeah,
we can be
yeah.
different than other people and say like, okay, I'm like for parenting, that there's lots of great books out there that have all kinds of different things for like getting your kids to do chores. And like how do you make that happen? And it's not until you try things yourself and you can say, wow, that's really helpful and that also will work for me, or you find out that it doesn't work for your kids, or maybe it works for one of the kids but not all of the kids. So, I think in that arena, we're able to wrap our minds around the concept of we're all individual and that's okay. But sometimes when it comes to diet and exercise, we feel like we have to be clones of one another, and it just doesn't work.
And there comes in the comparison too. Like I compare myself to you, and I'm like, why can't I look like Rachel? Why can't I do
look
this?
like Miriam?
Because I am not Rachel. Like I'm not that person. Since 5 minutes ago. But yeah, we just need to take the information that's given. Don't compare ourselves to that person unless we have specific health things, and then that's the reason why we're going to try something that they're doing. But that doesn't mean it's still going to work for us. We got to be willing to keep experimenting until we figure it out, right?
Yep. So I see the Lindsay's here.
Hi, Lindsay.
We crashed her live stream
Yeah, Chris.
today.
We took it
that's
over.
only fair.
right. Yeah.
It was take your son to work day, or
Take your
Joe to
Joe.
work
Chris
day.
took me to work today.
It was
Rachel and
actually-
I stayed home and did the dishes.
I really did have flashbacks of when I was little
Yeah.
and I was off of school, and my dad was a clinical chemist. He ran the laboratories in the hospitals.
Yeah.
And this was also because computers, the only place you had a computer was like in my dad's lab. Like you didn't have home computers back then.
Yeah.
And so he would take me to work, and I would get plopped in his office and play on the computer, or he would give me assignments to do. And like Chris gave me assignments to do. I felt
here you
like
go.
while he was doing
Yep.
meetings,
I did meetings. I answered. I got to freaking inbox 0.
So-
Yeah.
Oh.
I did too, but I was just delete.
Oh, is that what it was?
Because it was all like, it was like 390 spams.
It was a lot of
Oh,
Joanne
yeah.
Fabrics coupons.
A lot,
Yeah.
yeah.
I got those coupons too.
But yeah, we jumped into Lindsay and Nilly's live stream today and just were
Well, the hilarious
talking about
thing,
stuff.
So I actually went back and rewatched right where I decided to pull it up.
Right.
And it was right when they were talking about how Keto Chow used to have decimals after all of the stuff.
Right.
Right. Well, we
Right.
talked about
And
that
we
over
had
the
to take-
weekend too.
And we had to take it off because the FDA is like,
They said,
rec-
no, thank you.
Well, they never talked to us. We never got on their radar, but I was rereading the information, the requirements. I was like, oh, apparently we're giving people too much information, and that's not allowed.
Right.
Yeah.
So we took it off
So we wouldn't get in trouble.
preemptively, but it was almost like, speak of the devil and he'll appear.
Now it's funny you say that though, because we mentioned it on the meetup the other day. Like I have talked to like Dave at Nush, and he said that he did get in.
Oh,
in
Got in
trouble.
actual
He
trouble.
was rounding. He was not rounding. He was showing like
Oh.
this has 4.65 carbs, and he was like, nope, you must
Yeah.
round, and that's why we always tell you, assume everything is 1 over, because it could say, it could literally be like 4.9, and they can put 4.
Now I think it was Joanne that said that like since everybody's together,
Yes.
should you count total carbs for Keto Chow? That's what's
she-
so awesome about Keto Chow, especially
The new version.
the new version. Take a look at what that total carb count is on Keto Chow. It's incredible. Absolutely, go for it. We advocate total carb protocol no matter what. And what I love is 3 Keto Chows a day, if that's what you need. Like when Joe was,
You're
had
still
his,
going to be under 30 total.
you're still going to be under 30 total carbs with Keto Chow. So like that is very exciting. When he was having all of his dental work last year, and he just could not eat.
Joe's had a lot of work done.
He's had a lot of work done. Isn't he smoking hot? Like, obviously. Like, show off those teeth
I mean,
first.
look at those shinies.
I mean,
So
there you go.
here's what I'll say before I let Chris and Miriam talk about it, because obviously they are Keto Chow. Yeah, if you what is that? What are most of them are like 7 total carbs right now? Like
Yeah,
Around
seven, somewhere around
7 or
7
8.
right now. With if you have the old formulations, most of us aren't drinking 3. But even if you were, that's still only 21 total carbs. Plus, if you put some heavy cream in there.
We do butter.
We advocate butter.
Here's the thing. I will tell you, count total carbs, and acacia fiber is one of those rare things that, like, if you want to deduct it, fine, but don't deduct it. But no, guess what? Acacia fiber is actually good for you. It's going to help you in a lot of different ways. But as the new ones coming out, like the Keto Chow Core and some of the newer flavors, now you're down to like 3 or 4 total carbs.
Dang.
But what's the worst case scenario if you count total carbs?
But the worst thing that's going to happen is
They
you
don't-
consumed less carbs than you thought you did.
There you go. I love that.
And what are some of the benefits of acacia fiber?
Well, okay, so
Aside from the fact that your body's not
It's
going
an-
to
it's an
digest it
emulsifier. Right.
as a fuel.
You're going to read words?
Yep.
Words are so boring.
Here we go. So, hey, what's acacia gum?
It's that tree
Yeah.
and that orange stuff.
There's a lot of stuff about
And that thing.
all of it. But what happens, acacia gum, you can't digest it.
Right.
But your gut bacteria does digest it. And when it gets digested, it gets turned into acetate, propionate, and butyrate.
Does any
Those
of
are-
those words sound familiar?
Beta hydroxybutyrate,
hydroxybutyrate.
Yep.
acetoacetate.
Yep.
They're
In
precursors.
other words, ketones.
They're precursors to ketones.
Yeah.
So, okay.
It's like a
and
shortcut.
The other thing about it is butyrate, like it says here, it's the main energy source for your gut epithelium. That's the lining of your gut. People who have irritable bowel syndrome or other problems with that, they will often, like if you go on Amazon and you go to buy acacia gum, it will say for IBS,
irritable bowel syndrome.
for for all
We
these
made
things.
that whole recipe for the electrolyte
gummy
gummies,
bears?
and we were actually adding acacia gum,
Yeah.
and it really helped with it. And that's every one of them is like for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a great fiber to be using.
So, yes, it's a fiber. Yes, it's a carbohydrate. It also contributes calories to your
Food.
body,
Yeah.
but by the time your body gets it, it's in the form of fat, which is weird.
Right.
And it's almost like it's turning you into a tiny ruminant.
Well, here's the other thing. So I know Dr. Lenzkes touched on it on Saturday.
We talked a
but
lot
we
about
spent
it.
a lot of time talking to him about your gut microbiome, and acacia gum actually feeds
Yeah.
your microbiome.
Yeah.
Which I actually feel bad that we didn't have a camera running in the cars.
Yeah.
And at the
Or when we
picnic
were sitting,
tables,
where the 3 of us were sitting
Yes.
here.
sitting at the tables, because the amount of interesting, really cool discussions
Yeah,
that
that
were
we
had.
had.
Like
We had a lot.
Rachel and I are going back on CGMs for a while after talking.
Yeah,
about
I
it.
know.
we
I
are.
want one too.
Yeah.
So anyway, like there was some cool discussions going on, and that's actually one of the reasons why we decided to do these smaller meetups.
Yeah.
Because we did Keto Salt Lake, which was fantastic. But it's a little bit like drinking from the fire hose. You know, you find the marble in the oatmeal, so you get a drink from the fire hose.
Right.
UHF. Oh yeah. Anyway, but you're getting so much information,
And sometimes it's difficult to take that information and apply anything you've learned because there's so much. But you can pull 1 or 2 things, like one thing out of each talk, and then try to apply that. It becomes a lot easier.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's the smaller bite-size information that we're getting, and then also it gives us an opportunity to connect people that we like to each other. So like Amy Berger and Steve from Serious Keto.
Yeah, they had a great time.
Yeah.
Then we got the 2KrazyKetos and Brian Lenzkes.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
And it's been really nice. I think we're going to be on his podcast this week.
His podcast, I believe it's tomorrow. Life's Best Medicine is his
really?
podcast.
Yeah, if you have never
And
checked it
his
out.
interview with us, I believe, goes up tomorrow.
Did
he
you
said
guys already talk to him?
we already talked to him for his podcast,
And then
now
he's gonna be
he's
coming
gonna
on ours.
onto our podcast.
Nice.
But yeah, we had a lot of conversations when we recorded that, and I'm excited for that. But He's got some great stuff on there. You definitely need to go check out his podcast.
Yeah, and it's like that Life's Best Medicine. Not to mention the fact that if you live in California or Arizona and you are looking for a keto doctor, he can be your doctor.
Yeah.
He's hoping to move to Arizona soon.
And he's in California right now.
And then he will be able to
talk about
be a doctor
man
to
who,
a lot of
believes
states.
in what he does. He literally left his regular practice to say,
Yeah, just
I'm
to
going to
do
work low
this.
carb.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to just see patients low carb. This is more important.
It was some interesting conversation.
Yeah.
I really had a fun time.
Me too. So
Yahweh
nice,
Living
too.
wants to know, is Keto Chow vegan? It is not vegan. There are components like the milk protein that, now I'm talking about the regular Keto Chow.
Right.
Keto Chow Core is not vegetarian either because it has actual
beef protein in it.
Most of the ingredients in the regular Keto Chow are either, well, they're sourced from, there's a lot of animal source stuff, but it's not sourced from the killing of animals, I guess would be a better way to say it.
Yeah.
Milk protein
No
and
killing
vitamin
animals.
D3 from lanolin from wool, but anyway. But
So like Sean is saying, California is a long state. He's pretty far away from me. Yeah, but he does
He's
do
in San Diego.
and he does
But
do teledoc.
telemedicine.
Yeah.
It's in
He can just
California.
only practice right now in California and in Arizona. But even though he's not near you, Shauna, he could be your doctor if you were interested in that.
And he
Yeah.
does stuff with his patients like CGMs and then can monitor because of the
Yeah,
new
he
can
CGM.
watch them.
And he can watch you and literally work with you even though you are like working with him as a teledoc.
Yeah.
And he gets notifications. So like
You can't cheat.
He's not like looking at your stuff all the time, but as soon as something goes
Looks-
wrong,
right.
it'll pop up and say, "Hey, Shauna just had some Chalk Zero," or something
Right,
like
right.
that.
Or something didn't agree with her.
Well, yeah,
Like,
you
what
saw a
is
big
that?
spike, and
Yeah,
it's like,
so
what
he
was
can
that?
see what it is, and then he can just text you and say, "Hey, did something go wrong? Were you stressed out? Did you,
But it is so precious
sorry.
to see these doctors that are making this very giant decision to be like, I want people to be well, and I am willing to leave the comfort of this practice in order for me to be able to serve people in the way I want to serve them and be able to really spend time with them. You know what I mean? They're under a lot of confines. And so they have to be willing to be like, I'm going to walk away from all of that and change my whole life. And man, just kudos to the doctors and their families, because this affects the whole family, when someone makes a big decision like that and to change, how they're doing things. And I love that because he's like our age, and the fact that he's like, okay, I'm not 21 years old, but I'm still going to like take a step out and like do what I feel is
take
important.
that risk,
Yeah.
because you are risking, what you've built up already. Just trying to do something different.
Yep. But we had an awfully fun time going with you guys to, we did tubing.
Yes.
Yep.
That was
Park
really
City.
a lot of fun.
And then
really
ice
fun.
castles.
Did you know that Lynette took her kids?
The next day.
Really? Because
Yeah.
it's amazing. It was such a beautiful thing. Like if you've never been there, and I understand that there's actually like a couple of states that does that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
ice castles?
Yeah, like so I'm not sure which all ones, but I had posted something that we had gone there and they were like, which state did you go to? And I was like, oh, there's multiple ones. So, if you live in a winter state, obviously it's not Florida.
No, not Florida.
I would think it's not Florida.
No, I was just reading Jerry's comment.
Oh, what'd J-Dog say?
I eat twice as much meat so that when vegan things are making a difference. I actually saw a shirt that says adopt a vegetarian for every animal you don't eat, I'll eat.
Oh,
3.
that's silly.
But anyway. And I
Janice says,
respect
don't we have a
it.
plane to catch? Yes, our plane, we have to leave for the airport like a little bit after this live stream,
Yeah.
somewhere around 8:45 or so.
Y'all are gonna have to pray us home because we're supposed to take off at 11 p.m. and
Right as it's going to start major snowing, I will never get used to that thing.
and that is going to be when the storm is supposed to roll in.
Well,
So.
regarding vegetarian, vegan, I like to respect other people's decisions about how they're going to eat because I don't want anybody.
Telling me.
Yeah, right? It's like every time we're around neighbors and they're like, oh, sorry, I was eating this candy bar. I'm like,
That's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
I comb my hair on this side.
So when we did what was really sweet, and I think we really had like that, keto community moment, because there are like grown adult men. Here is Chris and Joe and Dr. Lenzkes, and they're holding on to each other's tubes and going down like 3 and 4 of them at a time, which I thought was so sweet.
And with my boys too, so that was fun.
Which was just
And
so
my mom
cute.
let me go down because at first when we got there, she was like,
I was not.
You're not allowed to go."
Because your hand was
because of
hurting.
his
Right,
hand.
because the night before I hurt my wrist, or I had Rachel massage it, and it turns out I have a ganglion cyst and it irritated it, and then in the middle of the night I could not move my hand at all. So we ran to a clinic and I was in a brace, but by the end of the day, I did not take the steroids they prescribed me.
Yeah.
But by
You
the
wanna
end
get
of the
swole?
day, I was fine.
Well, and that I'm really thankful that we were actually here when Joe's hand started hurting, because you guys know he's been thinking it's like carpal tunnel, or he has like some sort of a sprain, or just
Walk it off.
If it wouldn't have gotten irritated, I never would have gone.
we would not have realized that he actually has a bone cyst, and like we need to go have this like dealt with when we get back home.
And who knows if that's even the thing that was making it hurt, or if
Or
they
that's
just
just
noticed
something
it anyway.
that's
But we
there.
would have never
Yeah.
gotten an X-ray if we weren't here.
Yeah.
I did notice that Lindsay was said that she really noticed with the CGM how there is. I loved using a CGM to see how much stress was actually affecting my blood sugar much more than the
Yes.
food I ate.
That's me too. I noticed that too. And the new one, so Brian showed us the
Yeah, he had
new
the Libre
freestyle.
3.
They're like
and they're
the
the size of a penny.
dime.
They're so small, but the old one wasn't, and I always had to use my
Same.
phone.
You had to use
Yes.
your phone to scan it, and
Scan
the
it.
new
It just
freestyle, it just 24-hour reads it. So
bless
you
you.
can't be like, hey, I'm going to eat a candy bar and not tell my doctor just by not scanning it. Nope,
Yeah.
it reads it automatically.
And I do
While you're asleep too.
Yeah.
I do want to say that, like, if you haven't checked it out, our most recent podcast episode is with Lindsay, who
Yep.
talks
Oh, that's
about
right. You told-
Oh,
being
yeah,
a
Lindsay.
mother of 3 and, being keto and just like her journey. And it's such an amazing journey. Like, I really recommend that you go and check out that podcast episode, because she's brilliant, so fun to talk to, and we really, really enjoyed getting to the privilege of chatting with her.
One of the things that was interesting when we were just talking to Dr. Lenzkes here, when he was talking about Diet Coke, and that he noticed one day like he was hungry earlier than normal, and he was
Yeah,
talking
oh,
to
yeah.
he was talking to Jason Fung, and Jason Fung said, "When did you have your Diet Coke?"
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, not with my meal," and realized the Diet Coke, even though it's 0 sugar,
Yeah.
triggered him to want to eat.
Yeah.
And then
Look.
it was reflected on his CGM.
Yeah.
Well,
So
don't
is,
you
is
love?
this the one right here?
Oh
number
yeah.
34?
Yes, exactly.
That's what I mean.
34.
for parenthood?
Best way for eating of eating for parenthood.
Now, do you guys have this as a video version
So
yet?
the
Not
video
yet.
version will probably come out later on this week. When we do podcasts, we always have the podcast go up, and if there is a video version, and there isn't always, it all depends on how good the quality of the video is. When we speak to, sometimes the video quality is not very good.
Yeah, and we
so
can't-
if there is a video, it always is a couple of weeks later.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
And I will say, like, that is a
One
great,
project at a time.
like,
Yeah.
that's a great podcast episode to share with somebody who is trying to even talk to their kids about food, because I think that
The
Lindsay,
way Lindsay's doing it is amazing.
she's like, because you're trying to have like serious conversations with your children about food, but you're also not trying to make them scared of food. And that is
Yeah.
like, isn't that like so hard?
And that's the hardest thing, because, and you like, this is something that we get in conversations about with my girls a lot, because they're teenage girls. And as soon as you become a teenage girl, then you think automatically that you're fat and ugly, right?
Yeah.
That's just what happens in
Little
life.
do you realize
and you're
I'm
better
a
than you ever
52-year-old
and you're
will.
not,
man
and
think I'm
you're
fat and
wonderful.
ugly, so.
But it's like when you start talking about, trying to be healthy and eating right, they automatically associate that with, I have to diet so I can look better and be better. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like it needs to be different. And I don't know
Yeah.
how to change it, but I like it to be different.
And one of the things that I really liked that she said was just talking about it like, this isn't like, when you're looking at your plate, you're looking in terms of, this is a protein, this is a carbohydrate, this is
Yeah.
a fat. And this is what happens when they are combined with one another in this order, and like it's just a very not emotional thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I bring a face to it.
What? Oh, that's the work.
There it is, the Keto Chow warehouse.
Yeah,
Is it snowing already?
The ground is white. That's snow.
Okay.
The ground is white.
It's
can't
Well,
tell.
Marie
It's
says there's already
happening.
2 or 3 inches of snow.
Oh, I'm so glad that Marie got to come and we got to hang
I
out
would
with
say
her
for-
and
for
see her
Shauna to-
handsome husbands.
Yeah,
I
he's
just
so
saw something
handsome.
from Delta. Shauna, I would talk to your doctor about getting the newer one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Usually they will.
Oh,
happily-
Annabella.
Wait, Neely's here now.
Hey!
Oh, man. Again, we crashed her live
Let's
stream.
let's put it on the calendar to crash the one on Millie's live stream next.
Right?
Right?
Next Tuesday. Tomorrow is not Tuesday.
Tomorrow
Today
is Wednesday.
is
It's
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And we know that because we had Buffalo Wild Wings buy one get
And
one.
I,
free.
Yes,
I told you
and it
multiple
was
times that today was
delicious.
Tuesday, and you didn't know what
I
was
did
talking
not
about.
click into the Tuesday.
We did go get.
Do you know why?
Why?
We are
because-
still on time.
I
Okay.
have
Aha.
I
Still
have
on this.
changed my macros around so
Oh.
much that I can't just eat, 15
Willy-nilly?
wings. And I kind of am sad that I can't do that now. So I have to be happy with the 8 or 6 wings that I can have. So I haven't really wanted to go there so that I could not be happy with the stuff I had.
Well, today was the
Because-
last day buy one get one free. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had
Rihanna
to
was there at the
activate
meetup too. It was so good to see her. I missed your face so much. And you are looking fantastic, girl. Just like
Yes, so
stinking
fantastic.
proud of you. Like just amazing.
And you know what she was telling me? I hope you're okay if I share this, Rihanna. She was telling me she just took some stress off her plate and she just melted away because she was
looks
holding
amazing.
on for a long time. And she's like, you know what, Miriam? I just chilled out, and it helped me just let go of stress. And I was just like, I'm fine. It's fine. And
Yeah.
then everything started to melt away. So she's just looking amazing.
And one of the
feeling
things
amazing. I'm so proud of you.
that she had said, even when you're looking for like in the stress department, we were talking about how she even changed some of the things that she was watching on television and
Yes.
was watching some like retro things like Benson and like some of
Yeah.
like the
Oh my
older
gosh,
shows.
Benson.
I love that show. And I'm like,
Charles in charge.
yeah, of our days and our nights. I love that movie or show. But yeah, like sometimes even if you're like, I love a good like murder mystery or something where it's like, woo, jump scare things. Like it's interesting, but if I'm having a steady visual diet of that and that is like my entertainment, like I told Joe one time, Law and Order would always have these big marathons, and it's a really great show, except for I would watch 12 episodes of like bad guys trying to get people, and I'm like, everybody is after us.
Yeah, where's
like,
that CGM then?
Right. So sometimes you're thinking, well, it has to be stress at work or stress like in relationship, but sometimes I'm just stressing myself out with like what I'm viewing, even for entertainment purposes.
Well, it could be worse. You could be like, and they go, Neely, her kids needed dinner
Again.
Why do they always need dinner?
They're so needy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Speaking of dinner, our kids didn't clean off the table.
No, they did not.
You know what, Neely? If you just keep making them dinner, they're just gonna keep demanding it. So I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's it. We're
No dinner.
no more. Fend
Wait,
for yourself.
good.
I
What
will
are
tell
you,
too,
5? You can
Janice said
do it.
Magnesium glycinate is a game changer for sleep. I am super excited about the device that
Oh,
Dr. Lenzkes
yes.
told us about. So mine is on the way. It's been shipped.
Oh, it does?
Nice.
Okay.
So
We'll get
it's
more
called
information about that
the
later, but
Alpha
yeah.
Stim.
Yeah.
And so, it is a medical device. You'll need a prescription from a doctor for.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm super excited because it's supposed to help you reduce stress.
We
get
gonna
better
see.
sleep.
We gonna try it.
We're going to try it out.
So I'm excited about
I
it.
ordered
Yeah,
one
we
as
will-
well.
We will be giving you one, some reviews.
I
and-
ordered the same one he ordered because we're together.
Yes.
Right.
Turns out multiple people can just use it.
Yeah.
Well, you only need to use it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
We can take
24 hours
turns.
in the day, so no problem.
That is true. But that was one of the things that Dr. Lenzkes talked about
Yeah.
quite a lot in the not broadcast talking
to us. Yeah,
So-
we had a good time talking about
Yeah, we probably should have just recorded every minute we
Everything he
talk to
said.
him.
Everything he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody was just saying they've been watching like Full House because it's just light and fluffy. Yes.
Yes.
That's okay. I'm okay with it. And I used to be worried, like, if I like let everybody know that like I watched Golden Girls last night, like, am I gonna get made fun of by like my other, like mom friends? But like,
cool friends.
I don't worry about that anymore, right? And I think at this point, like, y'all know as my friends that like I'm super nerd, so like it's it's all out there now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not trying to be cool.
We're watching UHF because we want to laugh. That's good.
Even when it comes to the news and stuff, turn it off.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a snowstorm coming. Good, click.
Okay.
I prepare. I don't need to know. I don't need to
Right.
watch 24 hours. I mean,
Watching
we're from
every-
Florida.
Hasn't stopped
There
it.
is a hurricane coming for 48 straight hours.
Uh-huh.
They are outside pretending to be blown over. Like, what are you
Right.
doing? All you're doing is stressing
Worrying
yourself
yourself.
out.
Yeah.
And people are talking about the alpha stim. So in short, it looks like a Walkman that has things that clip on your ears.
Yeah. They look like
Uses a
they
couple
look like
AA
little
batteries.
earrings. And then
Sends
with
a
cords.
very faint electric signal to
Which
put you into an
which
alpha.
makes
But
it
he was
the
very
alpha
clear
wave
to say it is
on
not a like a stim device. Like
Yeah, it's not a.
what can I think right now? I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, so am I. The pads that.
Oh yeah, and
TENS
this,
device.
yeah, and
A
Janice
TENS
is mentioning the
machine.
sauna blanket because he was talking about
Oh,
that
yeah,
too.
I totally
Yes.
have that in my shopping cart.
I
Amazon
already
shopping
ordered
cart.
it,
I
but-
don't. I just have to decide.
Okay, Lindsay's got my
We'll let
back.
you
She
know.
says Golden Girls is a staple show. Thank you.
I love that show too.
Well, and earlier, I think it was Annabelle that was saying that she referenced Seinfeld because that's another like oldie but goodie that still can like stand up, the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
But there was an episode when you sneezed. He was like, people were saying Gesundheit, and she was like, and Seinfeld once said, you know what? People sneeze a lot, and when they do, you should say you're so good looking, like, because then people would feel. Yeah.
looking.
Janice said she
That's
has this on blanket.
funny.
She's addicted. I've lost 9 pounds. in a
Wow.
month.
Wow.
So I don't know who
Janice.
benefited more. So Dr. Lenzkes comes and tells
Oh,
us
yeah,
to get
we
an
had a
alpha
good
stim
time.
and a sauna blanket.
Yep.
But then we sent him home making 2KrazyKetos yogurt, and before he even
The
left,
Ninja
he
Cream.
ordered a Ninja Cream.
And
We
I
also
think he's getting
told them about
socks.
feature socks.
Yep.
Oh yeah, feature socks.
And hookah shoes.
And hookah shoes.
Yep.
Well, and we were talking about how Joe and I are bad for each other.
Yes.
Yeah, they
And
are.
all the stuff that we've convinced each other to get.
But you know what?
Joe even has the same 3D printer as me now.
But
I
you
know he got it right before they got here.
But as like,
Joe, you're going on to your 3D
but
printer.
as your wife, like, I am so thankful for your friendship because the things that you got each other hooked on are things to relax.
Yeah.
And just
Well,
enjoy
yeah.
life.
I don't know how relaxing 3D printing is.
Or scuba diving.
I watched you guys sit there and watch the 3D printer make stuff. Like, as it's like,
It was like, looking at a couple of boys watching fish in a fish bowl.
And they're like, yeah. Which is good, because we need other things to focus on, right?
Yeah. And the other thing is you need to celebrate without food. Food
Yeah,
doesn't
those
have
are-
to be the celebration. It doesn't have to be a punishment. It doesn't have to be anything.
right.
You can have a hobby, be a celebration, be whatever. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I always really enjoy hearing about different things that people do instead of just focusing on food.
Jen
Browns.
said no drone order. No, we spent about 3
Y'all
hours
slack.
It was more than 3 hours. It
where
was
we were just
most of-
reprogramming.
Oh, you did like
all
a
of
whole
my-
day.
I literally brought my drones so that Chris and I could like upload them and fix them and
Drone
get new
talk.
stuff on them.
Drone talk. Yeah. And I could have like cried with joy because like I got to talk to Miriam and I didn't
Yeah, you
have
guys
to
were-
like.
We
Actually,
sat there for like hours.
You guys were watching the new Cinderella movie.
Oh my
that's
gosh!
true.
Yes,
That was
I
you
had
had to keep
never.
turning it up because we were talking
It-
loud.
so loud. These two are so loud.
The one with the girl from Downton Abbey.
She's so cute.
Oh,
She's
what's
so
it? It just went out of my head.
It was the
Mark
2015
has a
version, I
podcast
think.
called Walnut Grove Cast, and it's all about Little House on the Prairie.
Aw.
Now there is a show that we
That's
love.
it.
I am
That's a
in.
goodie.
I
That's
am
a
in.
goodie.
I mean, yeah. How?
I could actually
when
watch that.
when
whole
you
thing
think
over
about
again.
it, we were getting very excited about like compression socks.
Yeah,
we're
we
that
were.
age.
Wow,
we're
you're
that
that age.
we're that many years old that we're like, oh, this really your arch, and we were talking about like hokas and like how it. Whoa, that's really good. Yeah, the cushion in those are. Oh my goodness.
It really was. Boy, we're so old.
Yeah, right.
We're like, oh, I need that thing to help me sleep.
Look at how my teeth look.
I need
Like,
this sauna blanket because I'm so old and crippled. I have to be warm. Oh, well.
oh no, I
It's
terrified
fine.
Carrie Brown.
fine.
I'm sorry, Carrie Brown.
Janice says something about a higher dose sauna blanket with Keto 15 discount.
I don't remember the
Oh,
name of the
that's
one
cool.
that we bought because we bought the one that Dr. Lenzkes recommended.
Yeah, we can look it up.
I can look it up because it'll be in my.
Your phone is right now.
Oh, where's my phone? What's wrong with my hair?
I don't know. But yeah, Carrie says, Dr. Siwas says use food for substance
Yeah.
and
Yes.
stop using it for entertainment.
So true.
That's right. Instead, buy 3
And emotional control, emotional
true.
regulation. Emotional regulation. Is that a word? Is that right words?
Jerry was talking
So
about
the one we
cooking
got
on the
was
rec
that
tech.
Dr. Lenzkes recommended is called Life Pro.
Yeah.
LIFEPRO on
We
Amazon.
didn't buy a sauna though. He didn't recommend one
Yeah.
of those.
No.
No.
And it was the one. It was the full infrared sauna blanket because it's a sauna and an infrared blanket.
The lady,
Does that mean you get naked?
the
inside?
lady in the
That's the
picture
question.
does not look relaxed. She's,
She's
like, like, really? Not like she's zipped up in like a bag.
Well, one of the things that I'd asked him about was because I've been researching like these red light therapy
Yes.
units that wrap
Yes,
around like if you have a
yes.
bad joint and he said this blanket will be better, do the same thing and more.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, it's worth a shot and it's Amazon, so if it doesn't really work, you have 30 days to return it.
That's true.
You know what we should do is just get a red light to put in the shower.
They have those at really cheap
And you
hotels.
just, and you,
Oh my! Do you remember growing up and you'd
That's
go
not
into the
what I was
bathroom and
talking
take a
about.
lamp?
The
That's
kids
what I'm
will,
talking about.
the kids
no,
will
like a
just see.
purposeful red light.
The kids will just see like lights coming out and like things going on. They'll be like, "What are they doing?"
It's
in
dance
there?
Oh,
Party
can I
in here.
answer that question, please?
Well, first, Carrie Brown had a very entertaining day making new recipes.
Yay!
I want to
Okay.
move in with Carrie Brown.
Well, we can't because I scare her.
No, you don't scare her.
Okay, I want to answer generous Bitcoin billionaires question.
Okay.
Do you think you really did
you
you really
really think?
have to drink 3 Keto Chows a day? Did you really do this?
No. He's asking you, Joe, when you first heard about Keto Chow and got the
Oh,
information.
did you really?
Right.
Yeah.
Did you really think
We
that
were dead
it was a
wrong.
requirement that like I was going to come knocking at your door for
So
doing it wrong?
you have to understand when we
I had a plane
first,
ticket ready to go.
When we
Yeah.
first found Keto Chow, all of the inside mailing stuff that you get, it pretty much indicated 3 meals a day. This is
All the
what,
mixing instructions.
This
were for
is
3.
what it's made for. And it would say, like, figure out how many calories you need. This is how many you're going to put in each shake, and you're going to drink it. Now, you changed it once we talked about that.
Yeah.
Which
Because
is why
we-
I love that.
Because we appreciate the feedback. So if you guys have any feedback for us, we would love to hear it.
Right. And at the time, they didn't know about butter. The instructions literally didn't tell
Yeah.
you anything other.
Yeah.
Use
Talked about
avocado
oil
or
or
it was
heavy
avocado
cream.
oil or heavy cream. It didn't even mention anything else. And that's why in that one video I said, well, heavy cream has too many carbs and avocado oil is expensive. And we also know now a lot of the avocado oil isn't even real avocado oil.
Yes.
And then when
Makes
we
me sad.
met them in June or it was July at KetoCon, and we walked up to Chris and he was like, "Hey Joe, I discovered you could use butter."
Yep.
And I was like, at that point, I was like, well, that changes everything because butter is low carb or essentially no carb, and it's cheap. And oh, by the way, it tastes better.
Indigo thinks that we do a really good job at hearing feedback.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We want to hear more feedback.
Well, I have these
more
headphones
feedback.
here that I was using to listen to the audio signal before it started.
Yeah,
Is
he was
that-
listening to the
Oh,
feedback.
right.
You were
Any
listening to feedback.
Nerd.
It was more of echo, but but yeah, the butter thing was a game changer. It also helps that I finally hired graphic designers.
Yeah, it's really nice
And
having smart people that
copywriters.
make pretty things.
So
It's gotta be overwhelming. Like getting started, you have a product, but there's so much more. Like you could have just like put it in a Ziploc bag and be like, okay, we're ready to like be helpful and like this is something delicious for the world.
absolutely.
But there's just so many aspects to businesses, right? And you're just like, you have to be like instantly great at everything at once.
Yeah.
I think that's really a lot to ask.
Well, and what's been so fun is just learning different aspects of different things, like learning about ingredients and learning what different ingredients do to your body and why would someone give you this instead of this? And oh, is it because of the price? Is it because of this? Like, what is the purpose? And just kind of picking at each different thing, and then even learning about packaging and the different ways that you can roll film onto things and it cuts off, and it's just fascinating.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, Lori wants to know, can the mineral drops be added to 5-gallon water cooler jugs instead of every glass poured?
Heck yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any of them can.
Yeah, one thing to take note of, though, is that the minerals are heavier than water, and so they will float to the bottom. So
Until they're properly mixed. And we always disagree on this point.
I disagree.
I have never, once they were properly mixed, I've never had it settle out.
I have had it settle out.
I've had it settle out.
You know
when
how
I
we
pour it
can
right in.
solve this?
Settle it out.
Somehow figure out how to put
Stir
daily
it.
minerals into capsules.
Stir it.
You know, I might have heard that suggestion once or twice.
I'm just saying, you gotta
Okay,
stir it.
Did you guys notice yesterday?
I'm right.
When when we were
It's okay.
having fun in the West Desert, I disappeared for a little bit. I got a phone call.
Did you go to the bathroom?
No.
Oh.
Well, I
Okay.
did that too, but
I didn't see
not
you
at that time.
leave.
It was
I don't remember him leaving either.
what's his
but
name?
I must have
We were
fallen
kind of
asleep.
busy.
Powell. It was
Troy?
Senor Powell. Yeah, they were going on a trek, and he wanted to know. He's like, "Hey, it would be a lot more convenient if the daily minerals were in a capsule form. Have you ever thought of doing that?" I'm like, I might have gotten.
Well, something that Chris and I were talking about was that Rachel and I we both need a lot of magnesium. And magnesium is one of the hardest electrolytes to get on a ketogenic diet from your food because it's generally found in carby vegetables that we can't have. So magnesium is one that we've always struggled with. And so Rachel's always had her night juice, right, from Equip, or we've used like Calm. But the game changer is when Keto Chow came out with the magnesium, because I can't stand the taste of the magnesium drops.
capsules.
When they came out with the magnesium capsules, that was a game changer. We have not purchased any other magnesium since those capsules came out.
That was
I
a
think they're
huge game changer.
Oh,
They
you're
really are.
going to put it up
Yeah,
there.
of
Like,
course I am.
you absolutely need to get these things because if you don't like the taste of the magnesium, but you are getting leg cramps at night, having trouble sleeping,
Whoa.
don't buy the drops, buy the capsules.
Yeah. But, you know,
There you go.
and all magnesium is not the same, right? Like, there's so many things that, like, touted has magnesium and is not actually effective for what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, and I think that most of the problem is it may have that much magnesium, you just may not be able to absorb that much magnesium. So that's another thing you have to learn about your body.
Yeah.
If you see on the ingredients that something has magnesium oxide, just put it down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They clearly did not understand the assignment.
Because your body's going to absorb, what is it, like 3% or something like that?
It's insanely low.
It's really bad. So why do you use magnesium chloride?
Because that's what occurs in the Great Salt Lake.
Okay.
It's so magnesium citrate has to be made in a laboratory.
Right.
Okay.
Magnesium malate and glycinate and gluconate and orotate. That's just magnesium hooked onto an amino acid.
Okay.
I think those occur naturally, but you can also make them in a lab. Magnesium oxide is just white paint. But magnesium chloride is what you get when magnesium is slowly eroded and combines with the chloride. And then, but it's easily absorbed by the body, very easily. So that's what we do. And those pills have about 100 milligrams in each pill.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I take a pill every night and I still use the drops that taste horrible.
Yeah,
But it
I
works
take
so
3.
good. I just love it.
Okay, can you tell us your straw technique?
Oh, yes.
It is brilliant.
So even if you have water or if you have a
Hand her the-
drink or something. Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
Pink,
Here's my cup.
of course.
So you take
She has a
you
stamp.
take and and you take your magnesium drops and you just put it down the straw. Well, like I just said a minute ago, and Chris disagreed with me, it goes down to the bottom, right?
It does.
So then you drink it up, and it's going to be right away, come up to the top, and then it's going to taste gross for 2 seconds, but it's going to be followed up
Chased by
your
a bunch of
drink.
water, yeah.
So it's going to be gone. So that's a really good way to do that. We do this a lot when we're flying.
Traveling,
Yeah, especially like if we haven't been paying attention to our electrolytes or whatever, we do the magnesium, and man, that it just gets in your system so fast, and it works really fast, and you absorb it really fast. So
But it's when she
like-
did that with the straw, I was like, what have I been doing with my life right now?
Yeah,
because it's like
if you put the whole thing in your mouth,
and then
you
you're
have to
like,
taste it.
where is my
Where's
drink?
my war water?
Yeah.
Ah. But the straw really makes a difference.
Did you see this, Joe? Mark said getting pulled over with a bunch of baggies of powder isn't a good look.
Right.
No, in fact, like we put everything in our carry-on because I do not feel like going through security and having going. Why
mean
do you
checked
have like
bags.
baggies of, Keto Chow, this white powder?
They have
salt.
to-
We have learned like Redmond real
Salts.
salt.
Yeah.
If you bring a big bag of it, you will probably get stopped by TSA.
Yeah.
In your carry-on.
And you know
Yes,
what it
that's
is?
what I'm talking about.
It's the potassium that sets it off.
Yeah. Also, make sure you don't have gunpowder residue all over the clothes you're going to wear to the airport.
Oh, don't do
Weird.
that. None of those things. Do not do
Weirdy.
any of those things.
Denise says, and when Keto Chow started, you didn't know you could make foods with it, like chaffles. Nobody
Yeah.
even
Right.
knew about chaffles.
Yeah, I was gonna
We
say.
just kind of played with it, and then we're like, wow, this is cool.
Well,
so
when we first met you guys, that's you started saying like, "Hey, we need recipes." And you started having recipe contests.
When did
and
the-
we won?
when did the thought occur to you we could cook with this?
Somebody else actually.
Yeah, they
It
said,
might
have
have
you
even been
ever
Carrie Brown, I don't
done
know.
recipes with?
Because they're like, oh, I bet I could use.
Because people
there's-
use
there's all
protein powder all the
recipes.
time.
Right.
Speaking of Carrie Brown, I saw her in here. Carrie Brown, if you're not following her on Facebook, go look at her Facebook. But she put up, I could not believe this, one of what I considered to be her best ice cream recipes. Now, she is the ice cream queen.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
she put on
Brilliant.
her Facebook for everybody to see yesterday her peanut butter ice cream recipe
That's the
like
one I make the most.
one that's from the.
from the cookbook.
Oh.
It is amazing.
That's the one
Amazing.
we make the most at the Bear House.
We were making that recipe before we actually
Yeah,
knew
before
Carrie
we knew
Brown.
Carrie Brown.
It is
We
so
knew
good.
of Carrie Brown.
She
We
put
had
it up there, and
a
I'm like,
book.
yes, this one, we made that, and we're like, there is no way this is keto. It is like the
It's
richest.
too good.
It is so good. But yeah,
Carrie
and
Brown.
she's got a whole recipe book just on ice cream.
Carrie Brown thinks that you guys should visit the Nutmegger Keto Chow Outpost, which I'm assuming is
Her house.
in-
Her house.
Oh,
I won't leave.
what a
She's
privilege
actually only
that
about
would
an
be.
hour from my mom.
Oh, that's right.
Aw.
How neat.
You guys would love her cats. They're the best baby cats I've
I
ever seen. in
am
my life.
always like
They're so
totally
cute.
like crushing on her cats all of the time. Like anytime she posts pictures of
And
those
her
fur
house
babies.
is so adorable.
Supposing
Like, her
Darkness is
decor
trying to
is
figure out
just
how to
gorgeous.
go to KetoCon. It's real easy. You just get on a bike and you go to Austin, Texas.
Get on a bike.
So
I would not
I don't know
recommend.
what
Time it
KetoCon
starts.
tickets are up to, but I know if you use 2KrazyKetos, I don't know if you guys have a discount code as the.
She
We
didn't
might.
give
Kind of
us
like we
one,
make money
yeah.
off of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, but if you use the code 2KrazyKetos, I think Dr. Barry has one as well. It gets $50 off, and the price is going to continue. I think next month it goes up to the full price
Oh,
of
does it?
$300.
Okay.
So if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going to go, I would definitely go. I would definitely buy your tickets now.
Carrie says you should come taste test the new batch of Keto Chow ice
Ooh,
creams.
yum.
I want to do this.
Hi, Carrie.
Let's see. So,
So,
well, it's been about 45 minutes. Did
Yeah.
you guys have other stuff you wanted to talk about? I mean, we've just been going on and on nonstop all weekend, right?
I think the biggest thing is just going to be like, the plane's going to take off, right? Like it's going to, like all the things are going to work.
Oh, did you guys
correct?
get upgraded? You get,
We got upgraded to.
As people are leaving the plane, there's like
We're upgraded
all
to
kinds of seats on our
Comfort
plane.
Plus.
okay.
oh, that's better.
We're upgraded to Comfort Plus. So I will take that.
We're not sitting by each other though.
Now we are sitting across the aisle and
It's
behind
gonna be
each
a
other.
little mini vacay.
Check the seat assignments. You might be able
Yeah,
to
you
change
might be
your
able
seat
to change
assignments.
the seat.
Yeah,
Shut
I'll
up.
ask them.
Shut up.
I don't
Hey,
want to sit
excuse
by
me, but you're sitting in the middle of two people you don't know.
I did have quite a bit of garlic beef.
Of garlic, yeah. last
From
night.
yesterday.
that
Oh,
we
man.
still
We
smell.
went to Rodizio Grill last night.
Yeah.
It
That
was
we were not
delicious.
planning to do
It was
that.
delicious.
And that was
The pepper,
This
not the
one had
peppercorn.
Parmesan steak.
They
A
had
lot of them
Parmesan
don't have
steak.
Parmesan steak.
yeah.
And we
Well,
were kind of like, yeah, just keep bringing that back. Over
We
and over.
definitely made it weird for the gentleman carrying the Parmesan beef.
Oh, because
Like, could you just come back?
keep coming back.
Would you just come back?
He's
Can
like,
you just
anything
live
else you want?
here?
No,
No,
that.
just
Would you
just
just
you.
move in?
I just want you.
My favorite thing going to
We all
Brazilian
want you.
steakhouses is when we go to one that serves the pineapple, and we're an entirely keto group,
Right.
and they come around totally expecting
To be
People
the
to
most
freak out.
favorite
Like,
person.
ooh,
the
And I'm
yes.
like, no, thank you. Are you sure?
And we all
And they
dismissed
came
it.
back like
Are you sure?
100 times.
Are you
Yeah.
sure, Jen?
Well,
Are you sure?
Okay, now
And we're
you
like,
made
nah.
this point about at a extended care facility for old people.
Yeah.
Even if they order the same thing every time, you would still
You
need
should
to ask them.
offer
Right.
So
them.
even though at one point we didn't
Maybe
want
we've changed
Yeah.
our mind.
the pineapple, maybe now
You're-
we do.
that's right.
So
They
And
did
we're-
come
we're
over
never
like
mean to
6
them. We're just
times.
like, no, thank you.
And we
So-
still said
Yeah.
no, thank you.
For anybody who
and
is
the glazed ham.
ever gone to a Brazilian steakhouse, you know, all of the meat is coming around, and you know, like, you have to have a strategy going into a Brazilian steakhouse, because you know you're going to get filled up, especially, I mean, you're dealing with fat and protein, okay?
Yep.
You are going to hit a meat wall,
Oh man.
and then
Halfway
that's
through,
it.
you need to start going. Okay,
So-
what am I waiting for?
So when somebody comes, you know, they're presenting their protein source perfectly cooked. They're doing their job fantastically. But like, if you come with like a pork sausage and I'm waiting for like picanha, like, I gotta say no to you. I'm saying a no to your meat. I'm not saying a no to
We
you.
did feel bad.
But you feel bad because it's like, but there's only so much room, and I have to like leave more
The
room.
last time I think the pork sausage guy came around, we're all like, okay, we're like here.
Yeah.
Like, we each have enough room for like 2
One-
bites.
yeah.
And so
Of
what is
something.
that bite going to be?
It ain't gonna be
And
the
guy
pork
comes along with,
sausage.
"Do you want pork sausage?" And everyone was like, no.
No.
And he like walked around kind of dejected, like,
He's like, you rejected me again.
Why do I always get stuck with a sausage? Nobody wants
What
that.
was really funny is there were actually 3 times when Rachel pointed to the meat that she wanted, and the guy said, "But that's just fat."
oh, that
Yes, yes. Yeah, and
piece on
Steve
the-
did
on
the
the
same
kebab.
thing. I want
It
right
was,
here. And he
tri-tip,
says,
I
that's
think.
just
Yeah,
the
it was-
fat. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, I want that part.
Yeah,
He's like,
because they're presenting and they're
Okay.
like twirling it based on like what like
You want it rare,
you want it rare, medium rare, and I'm like, I want that, and the guy's like, you don't understand. That
That's
is
just
nothing
fat.
but just a big hunking thread of fat, and I'm like, no, I'm not confused.
That's what I want.
That's exactly what I want. And he's like, there's virtually no meat. It's almost all fat. And I'm like, yep.
It's seared,
Seared,
grilled.
good.
Well,
grilled.
he started getting the message because at one point he came around with picanha and there was no meat. There was like
Just
it was,
fat caps.
It was meat and just on the bottom was just leftover fat. And he
surprised.
was like, "Do you want this too?" And she's like, "Yes, I
Yes, I
do."
do.
I'm sure because he's not, you know, he's probably thinking, this poor little thing, she's not got enough sense to know what's the good food. Why don't we just use her as a human dumpster? Here's some table scraps. We got some potato peels back there, like all the stuff that nobody wants. Would you like it? 'Cause,
Yes.
like, yay.
Well, the weird thing was none of us, all 6 of us, no one had a keto shirt on.
No.
Oh, yeah.
How weird is that?
That is
Right.
weird
That's
because we
because
usually
it was too
do.
cold.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
Joe was wearing a Sesame Street hoodie.
He was.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
'cause-
and our feet were well,
Wet.
We
I
didn't
changed my
even get
clothes.
muddy. We
I got
almost
muddy.
got stuck, but not close. We decided to turn around and take a different
We
road.
went
because
driving in the mud and
It
the
was
snow.
muddy.
It's so beautiful to see
my
because
I got muddy.
we got to
Burning.
see where the Pony Express.
Yes, we literally drove down the Pony Express.
I
road.
love seeing historical places. And when am I going to get to see where like the actual Pony Express was like happening? And like, would you be willing to be a part of that like passing the baton, Chris, would you like ride a horse like nobody's business to get somebody their shipment 18 hours earlier?
Janice wants me to check the flight app and then give you a downer, basically saying like our flight's canceled.
Oh,
Is it?
No,
Well, you've
no.
got somewhere to stay if it is.
That's right.
Well,
Annabelle says I saw a review for a steakhouse and someone complained that the steak was half
Oh, well, that's what
Here's
steak
the
is.
thing, there is so
That
much
sounds
to
like a good
see
steak.
here. I mean, we were actually talking about some of the comments made by, I won't even say who, but the
NBA
hosts of
All-Stars.
the NBA All-Star Game saying how there's nothing to do here.
There's
it's
so
boring.
much to do here.
This is our 4th trip here in the
Yeah.
last 2 years.
We've the
And
tip of the
there's-
iceberg.
We haven't touched anything. Like we
Yeah.
keep going. Oh, we
You
didn't
haven't
get to
even
see
been to
this.
Arches.
We didn't
Yeah,
get to. We
oh,
haven't
you
even
gotta-
gone to any of the national
No.
Gotta
parks you
go
have
there.
to offer. Right, but we've gone tubing. We've gone tubing down the Provo River.
Have we even gone to Salt Lake?
No.
No.
We've never even
No.
gone
We
to
haven't
Salt
done
Lake.
any, and every time we've been thoroughly entertained, and we've been here for a week each time.
Carrie gets
Yeah.
the prize. She's the first person to notice they have a new couch.
Yes, we do.
Good job. Like that. I was.
Come sit on it.
Because
It's
Carrie's been here before.
it's
and
an
is super observant.
amazing. She's super observant, but yeah, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Carrie says, do you guys always bring your own salt in the steak places?
Yes.
we
We
do.
always have
Yes.
our pink Himalayan salt in the car.
Yeah, right.
We have
Rachel-
like 5 things of Redmond lined across the,
It's
and nobody
hilarious.
has ever asked.
Yeah, nobody says it's weird.
I've never had anybody go, "Why are you bringing
Yeah.
your own
The
salt?"
table next to us had a salt shaker.
Oh,
Like,
like a
Maybe
like,
it's
like one
that
from
was
the
supposed
place.
to be on the thing,
That's
yeah.
funny.
Maybe
No, our flight is still on.
says it's still
Okay.
on.
Still going.
Risa, did we go to Rush Valley? It was out by Vernon. It was by 5 Mile Pass.
Yeah.
So
Such a beautiful area. To me, it's like to see you're just seeing this wide expanse. You're seeing like the mountains in the
People
distance.
say, I've never been to any of these places that Erwin's mentioned. So we're gonna have to come back.
It's amazing because
We got to take him to Arches.
in South Florida, there's almost nothing that isn't developed. And I like
except
just
for the entire
the ocean.
swamp.
But like it's really nice
that's
to
what
be
the
someplace
alligators are.
with like room to spread out.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice
And Dennis
to
says,
see
which
that.
road do you do if not Salt Lake? We did go to
We-
the one in
we were
Salt
at
Lake.
Trolley
We actually went
Square.
to Trolley Square.
Yeah.
But we haven't like gone around to the different.
Yeah, we didn't
Stuff in
show
Salt
him
Lake.
anything. In
Talk
Salt Lake.
about Trolley Square. We had to wait 45 minutes for our table, and
Yeah.
even that, walking around seeing the history
Oh,
of
yeah.
Salt
Yeah,
Lake,
like-
like you're telling, like I could have kept that. We didn't even see half of that.
We
in that
didn't.
little area.
It was like famous people in history, and they
Yeah.
had like little things about all these different school teachers and
And women's suffrage movement.
the suffrage
helpers
There were
and-
a lot of
movement.
women's suffrage.
Yeah.
It
movement
was
people in there.
so amazing, like the information. And I mean, and since we're like fascinated by things like socks and Hoka shoes, we could just walk around and listen to biographies.
Yeah.
Like the whole
Now, I do
time.
want to say before we do get off, like, so people can see you guys this weekend, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yes.
Denver. Yeah.
We will be at Low Carb Denver, which is going to be, well, in Denver.
in Denver.
At the
No way.
Gaylord Rockies,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
like
by
a
the
huge
airport.
giant hotel.
And I know Dr. Barry is going.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
there's
I
gonna
know
be a lot
Dr.
of
Fit and
people.
Fabulous is
Siobhan's gonna be there.
Siobhan's going to be there.
that's gonna
Dave
be
Feldman's
pretty.
probably going to be there. I don't know.
He's usually
I
there.
don't,
I don't know if
remember
he
if
is.
he's going to be there or not. Him and I actually compared
think-
where we were going this year, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're going to blah 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 blah." I'm like,
No,
"Actually,
no,
no.
no.
It was
Yeah,
all
we
of the
were-
ones that we were going to.
We're
he's
gonna
not.
miss him a lot.
So let's see.
That should be really pretty place because
Leslyn Keith, I think, is going, and I want to meet her. She's the lipidemia.
we have
lipedema
the
lady.
Gaylord
This is
Palms.
an artist rendering.
No, but we have the Gaylord Palms in Florida, and that is like the
It's a
cool
really
place to
pretty.
go. So this place.
There you are. There's your list.
Oh
Oh,
look.
Dr.
Brett-
Palmer is going to
Brett
be
Scherer's
there.
there.
Thomas DeLawler is going to be
Dave
there.
Feldman, David
Dr.
Diamond.
Cho is going to be
Dr.
there.
Schindler's going to be there. I mean,
Oh, Dave
Cynthia
Feldman.
Thurlow.
Yep.
Oh wow. Yes.
Wow, there is a good lineup.
And
Dang.
if you can't go in person, they do have a virtual.
Yeah, they do have virtual, and it's going to be
conference.
good. Like,
Amy
they're
Berger.
so amazing.
Oh, Dave Feldman.
Amy. Oh, I love her.
Mark Cucuzella is going to be there too.
I
Was
love
it?
Mark.
Isn't the Sod
He's so
Father
nice.
going?
I think he said he was.
He's at least attending. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's not on the list. But yeah, Dr. Tro. We still haven't met Dr. Tro.
No.
He's he and Brian work together
Yeah.
on a podcast.
And Okay, so Dr. Lenzkes was gonna go, but it's like his anniversary.
Right.
And I was like, I think you
Yeah.
made the right choice.
Check out Nadir's.
I
Is a
love
high-fat diet
Nadir.
harmful in individuals with coronary artery
I love you. I mean, you got to just
and
watch
heart
that
attacks.
one. Every
Wow.
single one of Nadir Ali's talks is amazing.
Yep.
He's a cardiologist, and he just
Yep.
it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Hey, Megan Ramos is going to be there.
Yay!
Yay!
Time restricted eating versus intermittent
There you
fasting.
go.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Technically, when you don't eat for a couple hours
are-
and you do like 1 or 2 meals a day, that is time restricted feeding, but everybody calls it
Intermittent fasting.
Right.
Anyway. And
To
so-
be a pedant.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I'm nothing if not pedantic.
Oh, Dennis is saying Kim Howerton's going to be attending,
Oh, awesome.
which is good. I love
Actually,
her. Nerd.
Anyway, okay, well, I think we're going to get off because you guys probably should
Head
off
over
from
to the airport.
as
Yeah,
soon as you can,
we'll
so.
just start pushing and shoveling
Yep.
you there.
But hey, you get to go to the Delta Sky Lounge.
Yep, we have access to the
Yeah.
Sky Lounge thanks to our Delta credit card.
So awesome.
Yeehaw. Okay, well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. So you guys will be doing your live stream on Thursday.
We have our live stream on Thursday, and
We'll-
then
we'll have one
back
on
to
Monday.
normal schedule.
You'll have one on Monday.
Yep.
Okay, back to normal schedule.
Yeah, for a couple weeks until KetoCon.
Back to your 3D printer job.
Back
Yes.
to life.
Going home to my
Back to
3D printer.
reality.
All right.
Hey, remember, you're worth it. You're worth investigating, you're worth figuring out, and you're worth all of the work to make yourself healthy. And we love you.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.